Okay, go ahead.
Welcome to the Dirt on Gardening podcast. I am Andre the Farmer. This is the gardening podcast where we talk about plants and we answer all your gardening questions. I am going to be joined by Urban Gardening with Gray and the chocolate botanist. So stay tuned. We got a really interesting show. We're going to be talking about some really weird plants and things like that. What's up, guys? How you guys doing today?
I am doing great. How about you, gentlemen?
I'm feeling pretty
doing
good.
great.
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. All right.
Yeah, no.
Everything's set. All right. We're good. We're good to go. All right. So, right now I'm still recovering from everything that's going on with the freeze that we've had down here. One thing that I've witnessed and learned is the trees are getting worse every single day. Just when you think that you've seen the worst of it, you go down there and it looks even worse than it did before. Right now, it looks like fall in New Hampshire. It's just rough. It's really rough down there right now.
Hey, Ricky's World. Glad you can see us, man.
That is wild.
Yeah,
How does it feel? So is that something, because I'm not familiar with Florida terrain. I mean, I know y'all think y'all are better than us because, your weather's better and, we so warm down here in the oceans and stuff. But how does that really relate to like a typical Florida winter? Like, has this been harsher?
Listen, normally each winter, there's one night that is a scary night. And that's a scary night because it's going to hit 32 for like 1 hour, right? And that is the scary night. We got down to 22. It was under 32 for something like, I don't know, like 20 hours or some crazy number. Like these trees have never experienced anything like this. And I get people on social media go, oh, that's normal. Florida gets freezes. I've been in Florida for 20-some years. We have not had a freeze like that in the entire time that I've been here. And I've been gardening for 10 years. So I 100% know that we haven't had a freeze like that because my mangoes have never been damaged like this. I don't think we're going to get any mangoes this year.
Oh, that's sad.
The bananas will be none. There will be no lychees. I think we might salvage a little bit of avocados, but it's going to be.
I feel like that's my fault.
It's your fault. How's it your fault?
Yeah, look, bruh, I was over here secretly jealous of all of your mangoes and all of your bananas. I feel like I don't know how to put some of that Baton Rouge voodoo on you.
And
it worked. It worked.
It also worked because the little hoodoo I got here. I was like, you know what? He's there. Look at these trees, guys. Look at me. I'm Andre the Farmer, and I got all these trees and my good teeth, and I'm up here doing the things. And I was like, you know what? Freeze, God, freeze. So it was probably me too.
Well, one thing is I get to be lazy this year. I get to be lazy and not have to do too much in the garden because there's just not that much for me to do. Like there's only so much you can do with a bunch of trees that have no leaves on them. Like I imagine in a couple of days there won't be any leaves on most of the trees, most of the fruit trees.
Andre, I know you too well, brother. I don't think that word means what you think it means. Because you don't know how to be lazy. This dude is always doing something like, nah, that's a Princess Bride reference if y'all didn't get that. But that don't mean what you think it means.
I don't think this word means what you think it means. But I am definitely lazy. But I'm always busy. I always want to be doing stuff, but I want to do stuff I want to do. The stuff that I don't want to do, like cleaning out my gardening table back down there, that's a hot mess. That's where you'll see the lazy, right? So we're all lazy.
I want to give a shout out to Death Kiss Mist. She is with us here today. Good to see you again, my friend. I'm glad. Death Kiss Mist is joining us every single episode. I appreciate you for being here.
Thank you very much. Thank you much for the support. Now, I know we were going to talk about some weird things. I learned one particular weird thing. And I'll tell you what, if you guys don't follow Sean Grows, his videos are so entertaining. They're short, they're concise, good graphics, and you learn something every single time.
Yeah.
So I learned about how papayas And most of the papayas that are grown in Hawaii are GMO. Because they had the ring spot disease was wiping out the papaya industry, and they GMO'd them to make them resistant. And now 80 to 90% of the papayas that come out of Hawaii are GMO. So if you're eating a papaya in the USA that comes from a grocery store, it's probably GMO. That's not a bad thing. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Like those pineapples, those papayas are just as nutritious, just as healthy as any other papaya.
Yeah,
and
I'm glad you mentioned that. Go ahead, Derek.
I'm sorry to jump in because I know the people get so fearful. I clicked on the wrong person. The people get so fearful of GMOs, right? And the way this technology can work to save us because of how we feed each other, because how we have to feed each other, we are growing large swaths of one plant, right? In one area. You at your home garden, Andre at his 2,000-acre property, right? He is able to do multiple plants across areas. Gray at his 150,000-acre lot in Texas, he owns most of Texas, Gray does. Y'all don't know this. Gray's family, they actually carved the Texas shape is his family crest because they own a lot of it. They get all of these different plants and they're able to do cool things, right? But this GMO protects us from diseases that would wipe out our food industry. And I know a lot of people are fearful of it, but we just shouldn't be. Just had to put that in there.
Yeah.
Right on. No,
and
great.
You're talking about
it.
You're talking about the bourgeois, right?
Oh, remember my favorite bourgeois.
the line of bourgeois that own Texas. Yes. I was going to ask what would be considered good GMO or non-GMO? Good.
Yeah, which
GMO
one is better?
GMO or non-GMO? There's no value. Like GMO isn't a value statement, right? It's kind of like what's better, green onions or yellow onions, or yellow onions or red onions. Like it's not a value statement. It's just a descriptive of what it is. But it doesn't mean that it's more or less nutritious. All it means is that instead of Hawaii losing their entire papaya industry and there being very few papayas, or papayas costing $20 a piece here in America, papayas are available now. Instead of them not being available.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think unfortunately with our human condition, right? And I'm going to talk about people as a whole. Not a person, because I truly believe that line from Men in Black was great that Tommy Lee Jones delivered. It was like, a person is intelligent. You can have a conversation with a person, but people, they harp on mass hysteria. I'm messing the line up. I'm paraphrasing, of course, because, we get so caught up about that GMO thing, like, oh, GMO automatically means bad. No, not necessarily. Because now here's an interesting fact for you guys. I know you probably already know that just about all the brassicas we eat are actually hybrids. It's human intervention that derived all the way from that original mustard seed from ages ago. So when you're looking at your broccolis, your cabbages, and so forth, they are all hybrids that human intervention created. So we've been doing this since civilization has been around. It's always been our will to cultivate the plants for what we need. So if you're worried about GMO, this is something we've been doing since mankind's been walking upright on this earth.
The plants don't want to get eaten. Like they don't want to. We have to cultivate them to make them edible. So when we cultivate them, we make them more nutritious. We make them have more flavor. We make them not as hard or not as fibrous. We make them something that we want to eat. And most of the foods that you see in a grocery store would never exist if humans didn't exist.
Right.
You're right about that. And I think we ought to take time out for Dr. CB, because there's somebody who's going to watch this and they're going to be like, but Dr. CB said the electric magnetism, or actually they the whole text. See, my brother, the electric magnetic spectrum of your melanin is letting in the GMOs, and then it's going to give you cancer. That's what they're going to say. And then they're going to fall out. It's going to be crazy. But it's a true statement. We, as far as history of food, there are so many plant facts that are out there. And I think we should just get started on some of the weird plant things that we know about. You know what I mean? Some of the weird things that are associated with plants. We have a list, but I'm going to go off the top of the dome because I like to do it, plants and history and stuff. So I'm going to just get us started. Y'all mind? Little freestyle, Ricky freestyle. This is gonna be great. So I want you to consider, you, a person watching this, listening to us, however you're viewing this, cigarettes, tobacco, the act of smoking, right? We are used to it. We are used to the vapors, the vape gods, right? The people who are doing the cigarettes. Y'all remember the tobacco man, the camel tobacco and the camel bucks? I remember that. That's how old I am. We have all of that going on. Like the camel was the coolest thing in the world. Like I was almost convinced if Dare didn't exist, side note, I would have been smoking because that camel, he was a cool thing. I tell you what. But think about yesteryear, a long time ago before smoking existed, because this wasn't always a common practice. People were murdered, were executed for smoking.
Wow.
And I know you're trying to figure out why, right? Why would they do that? Consider this. You have never seen anybody smoke a day in your life. Some ship captain, some pirates come up into your land and they are issuing smoke from their bodies.
Yeah.
It is, they are demons and we must kill them. Because that wasn't a practice that was widely known. So that is the first plant fact that I have. There were people who were killed for smoking because they were thought to be demonic monsters or whatever, right? Somebody should give this to Key and Peele, the key man, so he can make this into a movie with a good soundtrack. That's my first thing. That's my first fact.
That is interesting. And you know what? It tracks though, because people get scared on what they don't know. That's a good one, dude. I like that. What you say, Andre?
But a lot of ancient cultures did do some level of smoking, right? Like smoking pipes and burning hallucinogenics and things like that.
They did.
Yeah.
But if you were a culture that never did it,
right,
and then you see somebody, you're like, dead.
There's a theory behind why people smoke, even though they know that it's dangerous. What is that? Tobacco?
It's tobacco.
That, my friends, that is a red rose tobacco leaf that was germinated on December 28th. So while we're talking about smoking, I have to always bring up my visual props. That is tobacco. Tobacco being from the same family as your nightshades. So just like you can grow a tomato, you can grow a tobacco leaf as well. Derek, you come from the world of the pharmaceutical realm, right?
I did. And I worked with a company where I grew a bunch of tobacco. So I grew a plant called Nicotiana benthaminiana. I've been thinking about it because I missed that company. I've literally grown and helped to grow over 1 million tobacco plants. And I have seeds, allegedly. Allegedly, I have seeds of that Australian plant in this second bedroom, allegedly, right? It's an amazing, I can recognize that plant from 20 clicks away, and they are beautiful.
They are a gorgeous plant. So yeah, this year I wanted to see if I could, and look at that, there we go. And she is doing gangbusters. So
that is so cool.
See,
why are you growing tobacco? Josie asked.
Because like I just said, being a gardener, sometimes, you always testing, what can I do? And I was like, you know what, if I can grow a tomato, if I can grow a potato, why not try to see if I can grow a tobacco? Plus, I have members of my family that smoke as well. So if I can provide them with a little bit of this leaf that I've cultivated for them, as opposed to them spending the money for it, why not, right?
Exactly. A healthy alternative. But,
healthier, not healthy. Inhaling any kind of smoke is still bad for you.
Yes. Now, I've heard that there's a sort of evolutionary biology sort of explanation for why people smoke or drink or do these things that they know are inherently bad for their body. And there is a behavior that like antelopes or gazelles do when they are around like lions and things like that. And I think it's called like, not strutting, it's like studding or something like that, where they basically like kind of just sort of prance, hop, right? And they hop sort of really close to these lions and things like that. And all they're trying to do is show how fit they are. They're so fit that they're not even concerned about the lion, right? And there's a theory that humans do these things because it's sort of a display of their fitness. Like, I'm so powerful that I can do this dangerous thing and it doesn't even affect me, because that's how powerful I am.
That logic makes sense, but I'm gonna say also, I think it has to do with a little bit of marketing as well. I mean, because let's face it, look, well, I know we're all three different ages in here, but we've all seen that cool commercial of the god doggone dude. Look, I got a cowboy hat on right now. Marlboro man, he's standing to the side, got his roper gloves on. Like, oh yeah, I'm the Marlboro man. Nothing after a hard day of roping cattle. I get out here and smoke me a Marlboro. So the marketing worked on us.
But yeah, there's psychology to that too, because in movies, people smoke to signify that they're cool.
That's right.
So generally, like the guy smoking a cigarette or whatever, he's about to do some cool stuff right next minute. When he drops that cigarette, he's about to do something really cool.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah. Drop that cigarette. He about to beat everybody in the room.
Now, this is not a show endorsing smoking. Okay, do not smoke, guys. Do not smoke. You know, we're gonna get like a million people saying these guys are promoting smoking. No, we're not saying.
We'll get banned.
And Death Kiss Mist asked this question about growing tobacco in every state. I do believe it's legal.
Yep.
Tobacco actually built, like historically, this is another plant fact, I'm doing 2 in a row. It's built not just the United States, but actually North Carolina. Duke and Durham were heavy tobacco producers back in yesteryear. And that plant and the enslaved labor therein produced and built this state. So I do believe it is legal. Just when you are growing any of these plants, especially tobacco, you just want to take care that you are treating your plant with caution and concern, because nicotine poisoning is real.
Yeah,
Really?
and you're absolutely right. Tobacco was a cash crop. There are many of farmers who have lived for generations that I've talked to in the past that said, you know, tobacco was a cash crop. That's how they made their income for their farms and such. It's legal to grow tobacco in every state in the union. The only thing is that that's for your own private usage, but it's illegal to sell unless you have the licenses and such that comes from the FDA. So you're not selling it, but if you're using it for private use, it's okay. That's the law, apparently.
That makes sense.
Love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
But you guys want to know another interesting fact, talking about marketing and so forth. All right, this is one for you. And I found this one amazing because, sometimes you hear things and you don't really give them a second thought. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, that tracks. Now, Andre, you've been growing for many years. Derek's been growing for many years. I've been growing for many years too. How many of you have ever grown a baby carrot?
Oh boy, you're gonna start some drama with the baby carrot thing.
It does not exist. A baby carrot does not exist. It is not a young carrot. This honestly was started back in the 1980s. It's a full-grown carrot that they've cut down into 2-inch pieces and shaved the outer layer to make it more presentable so that they can sell more carrots to you. There is no such thing as a baby carrot. It's just a carrot. Right. But they got it looking really nice for you. So again, marketing. Because look, I got some baby carrots in my refrigerator right now for the kids. I'm like, we could just
people think that they're bad because they're not actual baby carrots. And I've seen videos where people say, baby carrots don't exist. Well, technically, baby carrots do. Trust me, I've grown some baby carrots. Okay, I've grown some multiple baby carrots. Okay, so baby carrots are a real thing. But even if it is not a baby carrot and it's a regular carrot cut up smaller, why would that be a bad thing? Right.
I mean, you're still getting a carrot, right? Eat the carrot.
Yeah, nobody's out of shape in this country or in bad health because they ate the wrong carrots, right? Like you're eating the wrong carrots, you're killing yourself. Yeah,
I actually do attribute my weight gain to the bad carrots.
You ate the wrong carrots.
I ate the wrong carrots and I got fat. It is what happened. And I know we're jumping into facts, but I did see this and I wanted to jump into this question on YouTube. A person was saying they were fearful, referencing GMO crops. They were fearful of Roundup Ready crops. And do we think that's harmful to pollinators and the environment? So let's talk about it. What is the history, fun fact, of Roundup Ready crops? The people of Monsanto had a tub of the Roundup, sitting around, and that tub had stuff growing in it. I don't mean like plants, like bacteria growing into that tub of Roundup. And they said, huh, if this bacteria can live in it, how can we make it where our plants that we don't want to cover with Roundup and die could just be covered with Roundup and still process it out so they don't go on and die, right? And they ended up modifying those plants to not have Roundup in them. That's not what it means, but it means that they are able to safely handle Roundup like they are immune to it. So while it could be potentially dangerous to the environment, it's not in that way. It's more so if weeds and other things get that gene, right? If they're able to process it, then you've now kind of lost the battle. But if you want to win the battle with your plants and your propagating, I want you to go and get you some Retain. This Retain right here, I'm pushing a button, it's not working. This Retain right here is going on, and it is what we got. And you don't need to fear when you use it because it is somebody's natural. Now, Retain you can get from several different places. As soon as the banners work, I tell you, technology is technology in the day. You can get it from retainsspray.com, Amazon, and the Walmarts. It cleans, it lubricates, it stops rust, and it sanitizes. And I know that our two gentlemen here, these two gentlemen right here, own all the acres. You know, both of them total have 3,000 acres of property between the two of them. They use this Retain to have their orchards, 3,000 acres plus, go on. Get you some Retain today.
Can I just say one thing? It wasn't lost. I mean, it wasn't lost to me that Derek has numbered the bedrooms. Okay, bedroom number 2, bedroom number 9, bedroom number. He has numbered the bedrooms in his estate. So
I did, but it's in the state of a second bedroom. There's 2 bedrooms in here. It's either 1 or 2. Now see, when Andre, he'd be like, I think today I'm going to rest in bedroom number 15. And then tomorrow, I'm going to talk bad about raisins in bedroom number 25. That's what he does. That's what I believe he does.
But one thing I want to say about the whole Roundup thing as well is, that is one use of GMO, right? And I feel like too many times people confuse the tool or the method with Monsanto or Bayer. They confuse the company and the tool. And you can be mad at the company, but don't hate the tool, or you know how it goes, right? You know this thing. But yeah. So, anyways, GMOs get a really bad rap. I always say, hey, if I could make a mango tree that was cold resistant by putting an apple gene into it, I would do it in a second, and I'd have the GMOest mangoes in the world. And right now, I'd be the only one in Central Florida that had mangoes still.
Corner the market. While we're hanging out and everything, guys, also, if you have interesting food or vegetable facts that you want us to give you a shout out on to, make sure you drop them on the comments there on Instagram or here on YouTube as well, because we would love to show them for you as well. And Unique's Garden says, my Virginia ancestors were enslaved on tobacco plantations. Yeah, see, here we go. So yeah, tobacco was a huge cash crop. Yeah. So now, all right, I have a question for Derek. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lean on my brother. Lean the other way. I'm gonna lean on my brother for a moment. All right. So Brussels sprouts, I can't stand them. Stand them. I can't deny it. I'm a straight rider. Yeah, I cannot.
I just had them this weekend. I love some Brussels sprouts. Go ahead.
Okay. So with that being said, all right, Brussels sprouts, you love them or you hate them. Now, from what I understand, it's actually a genetic disposition on why you find Brussels sprouts bitter. Do you know anything about that bitter? What gene? What's going on there?
So I think part of it is before I started cooking them myself, I did not like them. But once I started cooking them myself and seasoning them myself, I was able to get them to not be so bitter and earthy. So I think part of it is culinary, and then part of it is genetic, because all of us taste different. Like we all experience flavors different. Like me and you, we taste food properly, and then there's Andre. But
yeah, there's Andre.
Yeah, I'm going to surprise you all because I actually don't mind Brussels sprouts.
Really?
There
This is a surprise, because I mean, who could tell with
It
you?
is a
But I think,
later in life development, but
yes,
yeah, I've been in restaurants and Brussels sprouts have come out and they're seasoned nice and they taste really good.
yeah.
You know, I have to find my wife for some Brussels sprouts sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I think it's how they're cooked, and I think it is a genetic disposition, just like cilantro. So I am a person who cannot stand cilantro in anything because it tastes like soap to me.
Yeah, me too.
Right. And
So
what I understand, that's a genetic disposition as
it
well.
is.
It does not taste like soap to me at all.
So when I go places and I'm like, they didn't wash these dishes right, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm in a Mexican or Hispanic restaurant. There's probably cilantro in this. So I would try to tell them like, please no cilantro because it's literally like Dawn dish soap in my mouth. It just tastes just like that. So I think it's part genetic disposition, and then again with some vegetables, you get some great roasted Brussels sprouts with just a little burn on them, a little salt and pepper, little grease on them. Oh my God!
With olive oil, yeah.
A
No,
little
I'm
olive
good with
oil.
that. I'm good with that. Now, there's a question that we had here. Someone asked about
George Bush.
about what's that? About someone asked about growing edible hibiscus. I think they mean like growing sorrel hibiscus or a mica. I think that's probably the one they're talking about. And that's just basically an annual crop. And you can grow that from seed. It grows super fast. Basically, in one season, you basically have a tree. And in the late fall. And yeah, and you get a ton of harvest. If you can keep the squirrels off them, you're golden. But they're very easy. Just look for sorrel or sorrel hibiscus seeds. You can find them usually you can find them in most seed places. I have them on the website sometimes at andrethefarmer.com. But speaking of andrethefarmer.com, let me might as well, plug our other sponsor here. This is my sweet and spicy pepper sauce. You can get it on my website at andrethefarmer.com. Right now, I didn't bring a beanie with me, but right now it's cold, and we're giving away a free Permaculture Life beanie with every purchase of the pepper sauce. And the beanies cost $10. The pepper sauce costs $10. So you buy a pepper sauce, you get a free beanie. It's like getting a free pepper sauce, free beanie. So check it out, andrethefarmer.com. It comes in hot and not so hot, and it's made with 8 different fruits and vegetables. It's all natural, and I guarantee you're going to love it. It's also available on Amazon. On Amazon, you don't get a free beanie. All right? Thanks, guys.
It's funny that you should mention that because while you were doing that, you wouldn't even believe it. Mailman just dropped a package off at my door. While you was talking, the mailman walked in. He said, Derek, I got a package for you. And I don't know what this package is. It doesn't say the name. This is not an obvious plug. And oh my God, I have beanies, or as I like to call them, toboggans. I have toboggans here. Okay. They might call them beanies, but I call them toboggans because I'm country. And I'm just going, ooh, this is some good plastic here. Because I can't even tell. Y'all see this good plastic? Y'all see this good plastic? And I got a big head. I'm gonna put this on over. Oh, that actually fit. This is and it's soft. So they come in black, they come in Grayland gray, and then we got this cream here, so I can coordinate the thing. You got the coconut cream. So you make sure you get you on that andrethefarmer.com and go get you that stuff because you can get these beanies. I'm gonna wear my beanie to work on tomorrow and support the Black excellence of this Andre. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Sexual chocolate.
I wanted to point out another really weird thing that a lot of people don't know. Like, I most of my life hated mushrooms. I'm an anti-mushroom dude. And then I got invited to speak at the Memphis Mushroom Festival like 5 years ago. And I figured I got to start eating some mushrooms. So I learned about other kinds of mushrooms and like lion's mane and oyster mushrooms and wood ear and all these mushrooms are actually delicious. But I can't stand the little button mushrooms and I can't stand portobellos. So what I learned is that portobellos are just overgrown button mushrooms. They're the same mushroom. It's the same mushroom. They used to feed them when they got that big. They'd feed them to the pigs because nobody wanted to eat them. And then they renamed them portabella, which is not even like a word in Italian. They just made up a name for it, and people just started buying them and making burgers out of them and stuff.
Which is wild because kale used to be rabbit food too.
Yep.
Yeah.
What were you going to say,
it's funny because I was just going to say, like, hey, won't we change the name to portabella, and people be like, "Oh, this is a magnificent mushroom. You
You
must
gotta
have this mushroom.
you gotta say it again, guys. We got these mushrooms. What we gonna do?
We're gonna name them portabella."
Oh my God! Give that man a raise. Give him a raise. Make him the CEO of the Portabella Mushroom Company.
He should have got something for that. I'll tell you what, because they're selling mushrooms that used to be trash to everybody, and people love them. Like, oh man, my wife loves a portabella. Like when
I love
when
the
these as a
mushroom.
burger, like it's a fake burger, and they put in the thing.
Oh
I
yeah.
love
Well,
the
you know,
portabella.
being vegetarian, and sometimes when we go to, or pescatarian because we eat fish,
Mhm.
and sometimes when we want to go out on the town, we'll go to a nice little vegan restaurant, treat the wife, because Valentine's is coming up, so I might have to make some dinner reservations and get a big old portobello mushroom burger. I'm like, okay. I mean, I like it, it's all right, but I'm not like crazy about like, I need this portobello
Hey, man,
mushroom
you
burger.
don't have to be ashamed of liking the portabella.
Portabella.
Now this subscriber says they're a new subscriber and they enjoyed y'all last night. They say you guys rock.
Oh, cool. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. XRP,
Andre.
you're a crypto guy. All right. Cool.
Andre, where were we last night? Yeah, let's give
We were
where
on
were we last night.
I don't even know. I honestly don't know. Where were we last? We were with Enoch and Natalie.
On Let's Get Growing.
Let's Get Growing podcast. We were on the Let's Get Growing podcast last night. So check that out, guys, if you get a chance. It was fun. We had a good time. I got to tell people my little origin story, and Gray told his origin story, and it was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah, and that's Enoch. His tag or his handle is The Urban Gardener, and then the co-host is Natalie, who goes by the Freshest Prince. No,
Fresh Princess.
Fresh Princess. Yeah, and you got to see her setup. She has amazing setup. She's out in Toronto, California, Toronto, Canada, and she's doing aquaponics in her basement, and it is an amazing setup. And it's just proof to the testament that you can literally grow anywhere. And speaking of growing anywhere, all right, I got a question for you guys. Would you eat alien vegetables?
Yeah, sure. If, like we talking about
they weren't like toxic, sure.
Well, all right. So the first vegetable ever grown in space was actually a potato. So it was actually grown in the space station. So with that being said, since it wasn't grown on our planet, that makes it an extraterrestrial potato. So we actually have grown.
Matt Damon grew it in his poop, right?
Well, yeah, of course. Look, I love that movie because there was a lot of great science in that movie. But that was the one problem I had. I'm like, don't be telling people they can grow stuff in their own food. People gonna be out here doing it. Like, don't do
in a
that.
pinch, you gotta do.
E. coli is giardia. There's all this bacteria in your feces. Don't do that, people.
That's funny. But yeah, I would definitely eat potatoes from outer space. I wonder if they would taste different, in zero gravity or low gravity environment. I wonder if they would just grow different.
I wonder. I think like growth, I think would probably be growth would be different. So they might have a different shape without gravity, because gravity is a response that can drive plants to grow. Like roots grow in opposition, shoots grow roots grow with gravity, shoots grow against it. So I wonder, but I think flavor and stuff, it just depends on how they're cultivating it. There was a researcher I met who was trying to tap into like the exact nutritional profile needed to make like your fruits and vegetables always taste good. That was a long time ago.
There's gravity there.
It's true,
Yeah.
but it would be like less.
Right. But it's funny because I love this conversation because this is how much of a nerd my wife and I are. Because last week I went up to her classroom. Her classroom is beautiful. She's a high school biology teacher. And she's in the section of her class where she's starting to talk about plants. And she had a word up on the board, and it was geotropism. And she was talking, she explained to me through it. She was like, yeah, we're talking about geotropism. I was like, yeah, you're talking about gravitropism, the ability for a plant to grow with or against gravity. She was like, yeah, but it goes both ways. And I just love the fact that we could have that conversation and both knew where we were coming from. Like, yeah, I know you got your master's in biology, but I'm a plant guy over here too. I know about lavotropism.
Hey, let me ask you a question, because you guys used the phrase that I did not know yesterday. It was aeroponics.
Mm-hmm.
What is aeroponics?
Okay, Derek, you want this one?
You go ahead. I think you were so excited. Go ahead.
You saw my face, right? I wear my emotions on my face.
He's like.
So aeroponics is essentially the same principle as hydroponics, except the only difference is your root system and your plants are not sitting in the hydroponic solution. They are being misted and sprayed with the water filtration. So it's kind of like a cracky system, and you're using a fine mist of water to grow. And I'm a visual person. I gotta show you. Now, of course, I'm not doing what our wonderful friend Natalie's doing, but let's walk on over here. I don't know how to turn this camera around because technology. But over here in my slew of plants, I'm actually doing some aeroponics as well.
Ooh, you guys see that? That is beautiful.
Now, the intensity on my light is too strong, so it's burning some of the broccoli that I have going on down here. But inside this contraption, there is a misting pump that pumps the water up and sprays it onto the roots to grow the crops. So aeroponics is still a form of hydroponics. It's just a different mechanism, so to speak.
Okay, that makes sense. I didn't know she was using like one of those aero pod units or something like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty interesting.
Oh, thank you, MKP.
We were also going to talk about how corn is basically a grass, a seed, and a fruit at the same time.
Now, how is that? How does it break down into 3 different classifications? Because we're going to throw a bunch of people for a loop. How does it break down that way?
So when they were getting the grasses way back yonder,
isn't it also a grain?
It is, but I think that's more of a culinary.
Culinary.
That word beat me up, and y'all didn't help me. A culinary.
We left it out though.
It's a culinary term. That word jumped me in the parking lot, and y'all drove off. It's a culinary term. So grasses are a group of plants that literally fit within the Poaceae family, right? That's grasses. So that's one thing where it can be a grass. The seed is what we eat, because when you get corn, I worked on a cornfield for a couple of months in Clayton, North Carolina with the USDA. When you are seeing those beautiful silks on your corn ears, they are amazing. I got some horror stories from there, but I'll tell y'all off camera. When it comes to the silks of that, those silks, each of those silks are like a highway relating back to what would be or will be, if they're pollinated, an actual knob, a little kernel of corn, okay? And the last part is, because they are on that cob, that fruiting body makes it a fruit. Those are the ovaries that are holding on to it. So it's all of those things at once. And it's delicious.
So isn't every fruit a fruit and a seed at the same time?
Kind of, sort of. Like they would have a seed, but this fruit is a little different. I can't remember the exact term for what corn would be. But like strawberries, for example, is kind of a compound fruit, I think. Bananas are fruit, but they would have seed inside, like bell peppers. So it's dependent on what it is, but with the nature of how that structure is, that's how we can go a little deeper.
Yeah, because with strawberry, and I think corn would be in the same classification too, it would be considered an aggregate fruit because of all those seeds being on the outside. That's what it would be considered an aggregate fruit, because typically your fruit would be inside. So for instance, like blueberry seeds sit on the inside. So we know that blueberries are being a true berry, so it's got a seed on the inside. Bananas are a berry because typically they have their seeds on the inside as well. But I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it as we say it out loud. Corn could either be an aggregate fruit or cluster fruit, because that's what a raspberry would be considered. It's a cluster fruit because you'll have all those little bitty berries attached to one central pod. So yeah, that's interesting.
You know, there's a whole conversation going on in the comments on Instagram about Whole Foods and why some people are against Whole Foods and how Jeff Bezos bought them and all. There's a whole sub conversation going on over there right now.
All right,
I'm gonna leave him to it. But
y'all have fun with it.
But it's cool with the plant definitions thing because a lot of times people think nature just can be fit into boxes, right? Like this is this and this is this, everything is binary. But like even I made a video about a tree, right? Like a banana tree, right? And people say, oh, it's not a tree, it's a plant. But there's no definition of a tree. Like there's no one thing that's a tree. So people need to understand that like definitions in biology especially are very fluid. And things can be cross the lines and over the lines and smudge the lines. You know, so yeah, like fruits and vegetables. Like vegetable, there's no definition of a vegetable. Like we can call a root a vegetable, we can call a fruit a vegetable, we can call a stem a vegetable, we can call leaves vegetables, we can call anything a vegetable.
True. I mean, well, we have all these terms that we've blended together. So like we have culinary terms, botanical terms, and other terms, and what your mama and them called it. And we put it all into a blender and make soup. And then we say, this is it, right? And like, especially with a tree versus a bush, it's sometimes just the size. A tree for me in this class is going to be this height to this height and up. And a bush is going to be anything below that. And it has wood. And even then, in some cases, we're not going to say it has wood because it might have wood in the traditional sense, but it don't. Like there's so many nuances per class that is definitively right. I do want to see what those people are talking about in the comments on Instagram.
Hey, Gwen.
Oh, Jeff Bezos thing going on there. But which is fair enough. It's fair enough.
But you know, it's interesting because you're right. You know, sometimes people get so dug in and you know choose that hill to die on. Like, no, you're wrong. Like it really is fluid, right? Because like for instance, peanuts, right? Peanuts. It's in the name, peanuts. We all assume that peanuts are nuts. They are not nuts. Actually, they're legumes. They're beans because of the way that they grow. Botanically speaking, peanuts are actually beans.
Yeah, so and they are the most popular nut in the world.
Right.
But let me ask you a question. What is the definition of a nut? What makes something a nut?
That's very interesting because I mean I guess because
we got a cricket sound.
Some sound effects. I mean,
I wonder, does it have to be tree born? Does it have to be a seed? Does it have to have a shell and be tree born? Because all the other nuts are tree born.
Right. I mean, because like peanuts, they grow inside of a shell, but it's not a true cell. It's mostly like a husk, right? If you really think about how a peanut is derived. So if you think about that husk, and you also think about something like a ground cherry or a tomatillo, that's also being developed in a husk. But your true nuts actually do come from true trees. So like a cashew, that's a great question. Stacy Pickering said, is a cashew a nut? Well, is it? Because the cashew actually, the seed grows on the outside of a fruit, right?
Yeah.
Underground.
I don't know.
So I looked it up because I couldn't help. The botanist in me was like, botanical term, and I went to the Wikipedia. And before you judge me about going into the Wikipedia, go to the mirror and judge yourself. A seed is the mature fertilized ovule. Ovule being like the offshoot of an ovum, like an ovary of a plant. It consists of three parts: the embryo, we're all familiar with that term, right? Which will develop into a new plant. The stored food for the embryo, which will feed it until it can make its own food, and then a protective seed coat. Botanically, a nut is a fruit with a woody pericarp developing from a syncarpous gynoecium, meaning it has a woody outside coming from a ovary, a syncarpous. That's a word I should remember, but it is, let's see, I don't even see it here, a multiple connate or fused carpel. So basically fused parts of the flower. So it's a beautiful woody ovary. So the fruit is literally encased in wood.
So is a cashew a nut or not?
That's a
It
great
sounds like a
question.
cashew is not a nut.
I don't think it would be because a cashew isn't. We consider it a nut, but I don't think it is.
What
We
about a
consider it
coconut?
a nut culinarily. A coconut, I feel like, would be considered. Actually, no, because a coconut fruit botanical designation. I love Googling. Let me see.
Have you
Is
seen
a
the video
fibrous
where the
one-seeded
guys are eating a
drupe.
coconut, and the guy says that when they look up the definition of a coconut, it's like the endosperm of a palm tree, and the guys go nut.
I saw that video. Yeah, it changed your whole outlook.
So it
Well,
is
why?
not a nut. It's a drupe.
A droop.
Okay,
There you
all
go. Yeah, that makes sense.
So
Like a
someone
stone
else
fruit.
asked,
Same thing.
go ahead, sorry.
Like a stone fruit. Same thing as a drupe. A stone fruit like apples and almonds and things. A stone fruit similar to that. Go ahead.
Okay. So someone asked in the comments, will the bananas come back? If you live in a place where bananas actually give you fruit occasionally, 100% the bananas will come back. Because bananas come back all the way up in Atlanta where they're just ornamental plants. They come back every year. So if you live in a place, if you're in Florida and you have bananas, they will come back. They're going to look horrible. You get no bananas this year, but you'll get bananas next year probably.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm out here in Dallas Zone 8B, and yeah, even when the frost kills my banana plants, they come back every single year. So yeah, you can do it for sure.
Bananas
Yeah, I've seen them grow here too.
And speaking of coming back, you know what's going to be coming back soon?
What?
Mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are going to be coming back soon. So if you don't have Sonia's bug spray, you should, because this stuff is like lotion. Like when my hands are dry, I just put this on my hands because it's like lotion. It doesn't feel like bug spray at all, but it keeps bugs away. It's a great afterbite as well. And it's all natural. It smells like lemongrass. This is the only bug spray that I use. It's the best bug spray in the world. You can get it on soniasbugspray.com. You can also get it in the TikTok shop. This is the refill bottle. This is it. It's all natural. Sonia literally makes this in her house. Like she does this in her house. Great stuff. Amazing stuff. So check it out. soniasbugspray.com.
Love me some Sonia's bug spray. All right, so I got one for you. All right, I actually read this on the BBC. And Derek, when you get a chance and you look in your emails, I sent you the link to this story. All right, so I was talking about potatoes being grown in space, right? And while that is very interesting, all right, now, despite all the news about Boeing and everything going on with the doors of the planes and all so forth, they actually have been testing out potatoes to see if they can to use it to test Wi-Fi. Have y'all heard about that?
I did not know that.
No, I did not know about that.
Yeah, just because of the amount of now, I mean, of course, you guys seen that show. Oh, okay. Now I'm going on a complete tangent now. Years ago, when this show first came out, I didn't watch television for a very long time. I had stopped watching television for about 15 years or so. And so I was working in a diesel mechanic shop, and a guy walked up to me and was like, man, Gray, you're very smart. You're very, very intelligent. You're like that guy on that show, The Big Bang Theory. And I was like, what's that show? He was like, that guy, Sheldon. You're like Sheldon. Then I watched the show, and I think it was like his first season. I'm like, man, Sheldon's a jerk. Is he calling me a jerk? Like, dude, I like Sheldon. I do love my superhero shirts, but man.
No, you're definitely not like a Sheldon.
I would consider myself more of a Leonard.
You are no Sheldon. You are no Sheldon. But I guess potatoes have probably similar, a bag of potatoes is probably similar density to a person, I guess, sitting there.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's that's the rabbit hole that was going down, because they had taught Penny on The Big Bang Theory that you can use potatoes to like light a light bulb, right? Because all of the electrical current going through. I'm starting to think about an episode. They were like, oh, the power's out. Penny runs up. She was like, go get a potato. They're using that with Boeing to actually test out Wi-Fi by using potatoes. And I just think that's so cool, the different things that you can do scientifically with our fruits and vegetables.
I think it's way cheaper than people, right? Like you have to hire people to go in there and do that.
Yeah.
Now, there's a question we have in the comments here. And this person has fungus gnats in their garlic. They have rooted garlic in water, and they have fungus gnats. That's kind of weird. They have fungus gnats coming from the water.
It's not weird because you would be growing those. So what happens is you're growing your garlic in a container of water, and those roots are making an environment that your fungus gnats would like, right? So you're doing like a kitchen scrap garden, and those fungus gnats are going to be like, hey guys, we want to be right here. We love it here. This is a good place for us to be at. It's moist. You're going to keep it wet, which they want, so they could just be like, this is the club. This is the club. That's what I'm going to say. And I tickle myself for what I was about to say. And they're just excited. So I think it's a commonality more so than what we think. But you can get some mosquito bits or mosquito dunks, and you can put them into that water, like a couple. You don't need a lot because it's only a little bit of water, and that'll help prevent the future generations.
And probably changing out that water too, because more than likely if that water is going stagnant, it may have gone anaerobic. So I would say maybe change out the water every couple of days too would probably help well.
Yeah. I've used the mosquito dunks in my office grow tent, and I've been watering with that. Like I just have it in the watering can. I break it up in the watering can. I just water the plants with that, and watering from below helps a lot as well. So I used to have a real fungus gnat problem. Now they're gone. So it definitely works.
Yeah, that's a hack that actually works, unlike some of those other hacks out there. And I'm going to tell you another hack that actually works. One of my favorite sponsors of ours as well, and that is Thrive Roots. Thrive Roots is an organically OMRI, if I can read, OMRI certified root and soil booster that will actually help your roots on your plants thrive. And this works for your ornamentals as well as, because we see the blend that we have here is our berry blend. So this will help with your fruits and berries that you're growing. There's also a specific blend that is made for your citrus trees as well. Speaking of citrus and our Thrive Roots, just this weekend, guys, you have to love the internet. I know a lot of people talk about the internet and all the bad things that it brings. The internet brought me I'm going to be honest, one of my favorite subscribers. This gentleman by the name of Chris, he reached out to me. He said, hey, Gray, I saw you on Epic Gardening, and I saw that you live down the street from me. So instant follow. I was watching one of your videos about the fact that you didn't have a calamundan tree. Dude, I have a calamundan tree here you can have. You want it? And I was like, yes. And so I brought him a Pakistani mulberry. We swapped trees, and it was awesome. And I know Andre had something to say about calamundans, but me and my kids, we love the calamansi. It was great. Already had fruit on this tree, yo. Already had fruit on it. So, Chris, thank you again, dude. I love that tree. It is so amazing.
My calamundan has fruit on it right now.
Mm-hmm.
It has fruit on it right now that will probably just fall to the ground at some point in time.
You go collect those fruit and just smash them up, make you a nice little marmalade. Boom, c'est très bon,
You know what? I don't like marmalade.
That doesn't surprise me, Andre.
And I feel like I like jam, but I feel like marmalade's got too many hard chunks and stuff. I'm like, what do I want like orange peels in my jam?
You're right, Andre. There's no fighting this anymore. You're right. Sure. Next thing.
No.
There's no fighting this anymore.
Can we get the audience to say whether they're pro marmalade or not? Like jam is so much better than marmalade. Marmalade feels like jam that you just were lazy on.
Now, I don't think I've had too much marmalade, but I have had some good strawberry preserves and like chunks of strawberries and stuff. I'm here for it. So, I'm not going to go all the way against you because I'm like, I can't remember having a marmalade before. But,
right, but strawberries, like you eat strawberry skins, so chunks of strawberry are fine. But orange peels, like
I've eaten orange peels before. I candied them one time. It was a recipe I saw somewhere deep on social media, and at first I was like, "This is the dumbest idea in the world." And then after the 10th bite of candied peels, I was like, "Huh." But I ended up getting sick after. But that's a different story. I just
bite.
Plants by
Yeah.
JS. Anyone has a jackfruit tree. They're rare here and so expensive, but delicious. I buy jackfruit at the Asian market. If you live in a warm climate, you can grow jackfruit. They're super easy to grow from seed. You can buy a supermarket one. You put the seeds in a pot, like 100% germination rate. They grow super fast. I have 3-year-old trees that are, 10 feet tall, but they're burnt to a crisp right now. But they'll bounce back probably. But they're easy to grow if you're in a warm climate. You got to be in zone 9B at least to grow jackfruit if you want to grow it outside. If not, you can go to your house.
All right, so guys, I just want to say, and then we're gonna get Gwen Turner's question here about sweet potatoes. But when y'all were talking about jam versus marmalade, the only thing that was popping up in my head, and I guess this is because the movie's coming out April 25th, was Michael Jackson, jam. Mm-hmm.
It ain't too much. It ain't too much. It ain't too much for me. I can't wait to see that.
Look, I was over here just jamming in my own head.
There's a Michael Jackson movie coming out?
Yeah. Oh my God, Andre.
It is coming out the same weekend. You and I will be in Houston, Texas for PlantCon Houston. Yes. So
sounds like I need to go see it.
Look, we might have to go and go down to the theater together and go watch some Michael Jackson and just be sitting there jamming in the theater together.
Why y'all jamming in the theater together? I got a question. Andre, what movie snacks you be eating?
Movie snacks?
When you go to the movie
theater, if I'm in a movie theater, it's just gonna be popcorn. And that's the only place in the world that I eat popcorn is in a movie theater.
Because I was gonna ask if you eat popcorn, because I was like, he probably don't like popcorn.
I don't love popcorn like that, but when I'm in a movie theater, I kind of feel compelled. And then once I start eating popcorn, then I'm eating all the popcorn.
Okay, because I was like, maybe he likes Sour Patch Kids, maybe he liked the Brunch or Crunch, maybe he liked
those things just go too fast, right? Like in terms of calories per minute, if you're eating Sour Patch, you're eating 1,000,000 calories per minute, right? And it's just gone. But popcorn, you can sit there and eat a whole bucket of it. And I'm assuming that it's not a lot of calories. That's my fantasy in my mind is that it's not a lot of calories.
I love that you go to the movie and you're thinking about calories. I'm thinking, how could I drink this drink and not go to the bathroom at all? Because I got the biggest drink in the world. And then let me get the medium popcorn because the small is not enough. And the large, I'm going to have to give away to all of my friends in the neighborhood because I can never finish a thing of popcorn by myself. But I just wanted to know, we got this question here. I got real distracted. I had to ask that question. We got this question from Gwen. How soon can I plant my sweet potato slips? They're in AB. In AB? Is that Alabama? Alabama's AL. What's AB? Alabama. Alberta. This is up your alley, Andre. Can they?
I don't think they're in Alberta.
I mean, they might be.
Gwen, where you at?
Gwen, where you at, Gwen?
But I'm glad Gwen was talking about sweet potatoes because I was going to tell you while y'all sitting there talking about movie snacks, I'm going to tell you I'm a little sedity. I like a full meal.
Whoa. What did you say?
Sedity?
What?
Sedity.
Okay.
What you thought I said?
I thought you said something totally different.
I might definitely answer that.
All right, well, let me clarify. I'm a little bougie because I like a full
bourgeois
meal at the movie. Little bourgeois. I like a full meal at the movie theater. So I'm one of those guys that, yes, I will go to the place that will serve me a nice, tasty adult beverage, maybe some sweet potato fries, maybe a black bean burger. I'm going to eat, because I want to be real comfortable. I got a whole spread in front of me when I'm watching a movie. So, yeah, I'm that guy.
Nah. Most of the time I go to a movie with no snack. I usually go in with no snack. When I'm with my family, usually they want to get popcorn. So I'm like, I know that if they get popcorn, I'm going to eat their popcorn. So I got to get a popcorn.
Wow.
So Gwen, we got like a minute left before we have to end the show for the night. So let us know where you're at and we can tell you about those sweet potato slips. And if not, we can always catch you.
You can basically plan it, I would say probably about a month after your last frost date. That would probably be a reasonable time.
Yeah, that's actually a reasonable. Reasonable. Ooh, I can't speak. I'm getting tired of something, guys.
I know. You see how it feels. See how it feels. We let that word jump you.
Whoa. Lanita's saying movie theater popcorn is loaded. It's not low calorie. I don't get butter on it. I don't get butter on it.
What?
No butter.
Ooh, just plain popcorn. Ooh.
Yeah, it's already salted up, and trust me, there's already butter in it. Like even the plain is already buttered up. So I don't know, because that's probably less calories without the butter, right? That's probably pretty healthy for you.
I'm not going to do this.
Hold on, before we go, we got a question here. 20 miles inland from the coast in California, zone 8B or 9B. Any tips for growing mangoes? Grow them in a pot because you're going to have to move them inside when it gets cold if you're in that zone. Fig trees for sale? I don't think any of us sell trees, so probably not.
Yeah, I mean, I have figs, but I'm not selling any right now. Yeah.
Sweet potatoes in Florida? Yeah, probably like April, like a month after your last frost date, or probably April is probably a good time to start sweet potatoes. It's gonna be hot by then in Florida.
Yeah.
So, anyways, guys, great show tonight, guys. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate all of you guys for the support. You can watch the replays on my Instagram. I think everybody's Instagram. You can also watch it on YouTube as well. So check it out. The show has its own YouTube page, which is the Dirt on Gardening page, right on YouTube, right?
Yeah, but wait.
The Dirt on Gardening podcast.
That's right. But everything is up here because we're not sending it there since we're doing it to both of your YouTube and
Okay,
stuff.
all right. So
We'll get everything fixed. But
YouTube
you'll see us here. You'll see it on Gray and your YouTubes, and then all of our Instagrams.
See what you do.
Next
You just go and
Tuesday,
search.
I may or may not be here.
Oh, next Tuesday. Oh, with that being said, next Tuesday, we're going to have our first special guest of the season as well. Just like I was telling you guys about Wonderful Thrive Roots, the owner and creator of the formula for Thrive Roots is going to be in attendance with us next week, and that's going to be Tiffany. You guys are going to love her. We're going to pick her brain, talk about some of her favorite plants, and talk about the wonderful products she has. If you have any questions about Thrive Roots, make sure you drop them in the comments so we can get those next week for sure.
Guys, like, I just want the audience to realize how quickly I just got replaced. Like, I literally said I'm gone, and they already got someone to replace me already.
And she eats real food. Let's just go ahead and say it. And she eats real food. I already asked her, do you eat watermelon? She said, yes. I said, do you like grits? She said, of course. I said, what about catfish? She said, catfish is delicious. I said, amazing. So we're just slowly inching you out. So you go on head back to your 2,000-acre palatial place, and we will take it from here.
All right, guys. Have a good night, guys. See you, everybody.
All right. Take care.